Hello everyone, I'm Abhinav. This is a Royal Enfield Guerrilla 450 and I have ridden this motorcycle about 700 kilometers in the last 1 week. I wanted to tell you a little bit about it. I'm out on a ride to Uttarakhand. I'm very near to my native village in Uttarakhand. But this time we came and stayed at a resort because, just wanted to focus on the motorcycle and nothing else. So I'll quickly start off with, what I don't like about the motorcycle. So I'm just gonna sit on this motorcycle right now and show you something. Because the seat height is really low on this bike, 780 millimeters. When I'm riding the bike like this, the knee is bent quite a lot. So, when you do some 200, 250 odd kilometers, it does start to put a little bit of strain on your knees. It has a very simple solution. You put a flat accessory seat that Royal Enfield sells, a sort of bench style seat, and the angle of the knee would not be that extreme anymore. So it'll be a little bit more comfortable motorcycle on the highway over long distances. The other thing that I do not like about this bike is it's only got an 11-liter fuel tank. So, you do about 210 kilometers on a tank full, which on a highway goes by really fast. And then it gives you this indicator that you've got about 78, 80 kilometers of range left. Now, 78, 80 is not a bad range by any means. That means you will get to about 290 kilometers. But when you see that flashing on your screen that, you've got very little, the bike is telling you that you're running low on fuel, you tend to start looking for a fuel pump immediately. So at best, you're going to ride it what 240 kilometers and then get a tank full. So those stops come very frequently if you do long distances. So maybe a bigger tank would have helped. Other than that, now let's talk about. These are the only two things that I do not like about this motorcycle. I'll talk about some of the big positives that I liked. This motorcycle, it's mapped more aggressive than any other Royal Enfield in the past. In fact, I feel that, with the Guerrilla, Royal Enfield has really gone to a place where this is really uncharted territory that Royal Enfield is in right now. They've done classics, they've done adventure motorcycles before. They've got a very city friendly Hunter, but they've never really made a street naked, a sporty street naked. And this is where that motorcycle, the segment that motorcycle fits in. And they really nail it with this motorcycle. The performance is quite peppy. I feel that, this side of the KTM Duke 390, this is the most explosive motorcycle to ride in the country. It's got a very punchy, very meaty mid end. So in the city, you're doing about 5,000 RPM. Fantastic. It'll fly 4,000, 5,000, 6,000. Between 4 and 6 is where, it really shines. So third gear, fourth gear, you'd be having a blast in the city on this motorcycle. It's a light bike, maybe it weighs about 185 kilos or so, but you don't really feel the weight when you ride. Um, the seat is wide, the handlebars are tall. So, it feels very comfortable to ride. And then um, the chassis is quite tight. It's a short wheelbase motorcycle. The wheelbase is not very long, so it turns sharply. Uh, the wheels are 1717. You've got a slightly block style pattern tire at the front and a block style pattern tire at the rear. It is slightly overtired. It doesn't need a 120 at the front and 160 at the rear, which is pretty much a styling exercise. But these tires, they also do the job pretty well. They grip enough. I did not feel that, I was running low on grip in any situation. We did about almost 100 kilometers of twisty roads yesterday, and I ran out of courage and skill a lot faster than this motorcycle ran out of grip. Um, so for an average Joe, I'm an average Joe. I'm like you guys riding this motorcycle like any other customer. In the real world conditions, this motorcycle has offered me more power than I need. And, for about 3 lakh rupees, little over 3 lakh rupees, maybe on road, I really don't know what other motorcycle is going to provide me with this kind of fun. In the corners, in the twisties, I'll try and go a little in depth about this. I was doing about, I was mostly in the third gear and the fourth gear, and this motorcycle just flowed very beautifully. Um, we were at about 6,000 RPM, most of the times. And if I wouldn't be able to corner with a lot of, uh, you know, assurance because the road conditions are a little broken and there's a lot of traffic coming in, this bike would have enough acceleration to make you smile as you pass by cars, go into the next corner, and then you tip it in the next corner. So it kept me entertained all throughout the 3 hours of riding in the mountains that we did yesterday. Um, we encountered some broken roads. The suspension is on the firmer side, but then the motorcycle just flew over those broken roads. I did not have a problem. We encountered slush. The tires, they held very well in slush. In fact, I think sportier tires had this motorcycle had, a slightly more road slash track oriented tire. Maybe that wouldn't have done so well in real world conditions because real world conditions aren't perfect track conditions. And I mean, that's pretty much it. It's a very simple motorcycle. It's got two riding modes. I tried the economy riding mode as well, and in the city it works just fine. The first gear, it feels it's a little sluggish in the economy mode, but then it feels becomes very linear. This motorcycle in the second, third, fourth. So in the city, if you're riding this motorcycle in the economy mode, you might just get that extra 2 kilometers per liter as well. But if you have it in the sports mode, oh my God, as soon as you slot it into second, and no matter how many times you do it, as soon as you slot it into the second gear and this motorcycle is above it crosses 3,000 RPM, 3,000, 3,200, it surges ahead. It surges ahead with such ferocity that it pushes you back. So I really liked it. I mean, the display is nice. It's from the Himalayan. Uh, Everything just works on this bike. The gearbox, it's a very slick gearbox. NVH levels are good. It's a very unique looking motorcycle. I initially wasn't very um, warm to the colors. I thought that these colors are just too funky. But now I've grown to like this color. I like this yellow ribbon, as Royal Enfield calls it now. Very odd choice of colors. Somebody would think black, yellow, and then purple polka dots on it, but I don't seem to mind it anymore. It's been with me for a week, and it's easy on the eyes now. This motorcycle. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I like this bike. I feel if you are in the market for a sporty motorcycle, a sporty naked in this country, I think this motorcycle is worth a test drive. Um, and then you should take your own decision. Um, that's my review of the Gorilla 450 in a nutshell. Thank you so much. Bye bye.